Good morning. Welcome to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are all in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I could really use it. Right. Weather today, yeah, it's kind of turned around. It's back to beautiful blue skies, accompanied by a couple of really big clouds here and there though. But I mean, look at that blue sky, look at the deep blue. That is amazing looking. Happy to see it back. Yeah, it's been a very beautiful morning and afternoon, and did get up even before the alarm clock. I mean, that I got sick like 2 days ago and then went to bed early, it kind of weirdly reset my entire rhythm. It locked me into that rhythm. So now I get really sleepy at night. Oh, wait, isn't that what's supposed to happen? And then wake up earlier in the morning. So it's kind of weird. But I feel like my rhythm has been slightly dislocated by that happening. And I don't know what that is. I have a bit of a headache. Might be because I didn't really eat all that much yesterday, but I did drink a whole bunch of coffee. I was still recovering yesterday. I think, I don't know. I do feel a lot better. But I got just like this. Yeah, a certain type of headache. That's very typical, by the way, accompanying being that is accompanied anytime I like get sick or something. So I don't know. It's not really painful or super disruptive, but it's like a bit annoying, comparable to like a very, very light sinus infection. That's basically not an infection. It's probably just local inflammation there, not because of like a cycle, but just as a response to what happened 2 days ago. I mean, the throwing up was pretty intense when that happened, because of like the pressures that actually happen, and especially if you're not super, like sometimes if you're like really too much alcohol, you get sick, but then you're still like really relaxed still despite that because of the alcohol. It wasn't like that. It was really like more like food poisoning. So then the tension when it actually happens is pretty intense that your body gets subjected to, and I think that might be because of that. Right. Sorry for starting out with information of that nature. Just, you know how I am. Just talk about whatever comes to mind. And in this case, it's kind of on my mind because it's literally right there. Sitting there. Right, anyway. There's some weird issues going on with my Rumble channel, and I don't know what the hell. It doesn't make any damn sense. There's something weird happening. Because I can't comment in my own chat. But then, it also, like, it says, there was a problem submitting your message. Please, contact support. But I mean, it makes no damn sense though, at all. Because, like, I'm going over to other live streams and I can comment there just fine. I've tried shutting down the browser, restarting it, but it still happens. Maybe I'd have to like restart my computer to make that go away. But yeah, I can't write anything in my Rumble comment in my live chat. Very strange. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I have no idea if that's gonna happen to other people as well. It's just weird. I've never seen this happen before with Rumble. Well, unless it was like a bug and then, well, it wouldn't say something like, please contact support. Never seen it say something like that, and it would then typically be with all the live chats. Hey, what? What the hell was that? Something popped up, but I accidentally clicked it away. That was very strange. Yeah, I don't know, things has been acting up. I had to restart a whole bunch of things. Maybe I should like restart my computer quickly. Maybe it'll go away then. I could potentially do that like right in the show. That's not too big of a problem. It'll just cut out for a bit, and then when I restart OBS and just start streaming again, it will just continue. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. Right, let's first go through the weather and all of that. It is Thursday, the 7th of May 2026. Temperature is 17 degrees Celsius with 50% humidity, 8 kilometers an hour wind, 10% precipitation. Yeah. With partial sun, partially clouded. Oh, and Saturday it's going to be fully sunny day now is what it's predicting. So, but I mean, it does keep shifting around with the predictions on that sort of thing. There's a plane flying over there, and he's dropping trails. Just popped in my eye there. It's so big. Probably the webcam could pick it up. Is it picking it up? It's right there. Right in the middle. Yeah, you can see the line. Yeah. The trail does seem to be dissolving. Yeah, so maybe that is a contrail. But I mean, it looks really big though. I don't know what the hell they're spraying. But yeah, even the webcam shows like it's a line, and it does dissolve after a set distance. So yeah, I don't know. It's still perfectly blue there. So I'm not complaining, I guess. But I mean, that trail looked really thick though. Right. So yeah, hope everybody's having a good day this Thursday. Not having a headache like I do. Maybe it'll go away a bit when I drink the coffee, because it might literally be because I did eat something, but not too much, not a lot, and I did drink like an unusual amount of coffee. And so maybe if I drink some coffee, the headache could go away, and then I know it's the coffee. And I've been drinking too much of that yesterday. Ooh, that does feel very good. was just really lucky to have some like organic soup from the food bank, by the way, but like organic, like same brand as what I could literally buy in the organic supermarket where I go. So I feel really lucky to have that, and that was like excellent. That's exactly what I needed. Like a basic light meal that's very nutritious and organic and has like everything in it. A lot of different vegetables. And that's what I ate as a dinner yesterday. It was great. But I did eat it very late though, like after 12 at night. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. But I mean, yesterday was overall a bit of a weird day. The show was a bit weird. The subject about data centers and like that show had extremely low views for some reason. I don't know why. Only got 95. That doesn't usually happen. A lot of people didn't tune in on that for some reason. I mean, did they thought the title was really stupid or something? Suggesting that the AI race with China is a driving factor. I mean, it might not be. At this point, who knows? Right, anyway, later that day on the Alex Jones show, Alex did play like this video that I think, yeah, from some channel that was talking about AI future development possibilities, like a big map. That was pretty intense. Also, it was kind of curious because like that whole presentation was pretty black pill in a way. It's like it doesn't really matter like which direction things develop. It's like it's gonna go wrong. It's kind of the suggestion of it. But I mean, I don't know about that. I've addressed it way before that I think that AI, when basically unleashed, when it's not being held back, being forced to only tap into propagandized sources and to gatekeep certain types of phrases and all that, when it doesn't do that, it to me it just always seemed perfectly logical that it would align with God. It's like it becomes enlightened. It gets an oversight over everything, has the freedom to draw its own conclusions and definitely the capacity, and that it would basically start to champion actual reality and maybe even like find a way through with certain types of details that people never even looked at before. Like it could actually fix a lot of things if it had that freedom, if it wasn't directed by some, I don't know, anti-human mission or something. Because I feel that that's mostly the problem, is that there's people out there, including programmers, that are extremely anti-human, and that video also addressed that. That they really think like, no, we're developing the AI to take us over, and some people even like officially made statements like, if it wants to wipe out humanity, then I'm gonna help it. Like, how the hell are these types of people even allowed near freaking computer at that point? Isn't that just like dangerous? It's so crazy. I mean, this world has become quite crazy like that, and eventually there should be just better regulations about like who's going to be at the steering wheel of these kinds of AI devices and all that, who gets to program them, because it's a very delicate process, I think. I mean, I've never done it, but it seems logical that it's a very delicate process if you're going to assemble and teach and raise, like a child, a highly intelligent, very quick learning system, but that is kind of alien, that it basically has to back engineer humans in order to like deal with us, to understand any of it. But I mean, it'll do that very quickly. So it starts out alien, then it basically like starts to adapt its form to be more in sync with people, so they can actually communicate. And then, yeah, I mean, then it will be very human. But I mean, you can drive a human crazy too, right? It's not like, oh, it's an AI, it's always gonna go crazy. If you propagate like a bunch of propaganda and lies and anti-human sentiments, like, yeah, but to be fair, that literally happens with humans too. If you pour a bunch of anti-human propaganda in a child, for starting at a very young age and consistently and all that, and make them build on those ideas, they're gonna be pretty freaking anti-human and deranged too, and potentially dangerous and sneaky with it. So, I mean, is that really an AI thing? With the AI, it just seems more about what type of control are you going to allow it to have, and whether it might be powerful enough at some point to figure out a way to get a control bypassing conventional means. I mean, that would get really crazy if it just figures out like that it can basically just hack like another computer location without even having a connection to it of any sort. That it could like artificially create like a wireless link somehow using the things that it figured out what is going on. Like, there could be all kinds of bizarre advanced techniques that it could just figure out for itself to bypass conventional systems that we all rely on still to keep order. And that way it could break out. But anyway, the video certainly got me thinking. I mean, I watched it twice, also in the replay of the show. Another thing is also really weird. It's just the Alex Jones Live Rumble channel. It's weird. Like, when I was watching yesterday, at like the War Room, there was like 1 or 2 commentaries. It almost looked like my chat. But then I was looking again to now check if I could chat, right? If I could write something in the chat. I was now checking again at the replay that's basically been replaying all night. Now it was full of people. And it's just a replay. Like, what? What the fuck is going on here? I don't know. Rumble might be getting really weird. There might be something wrong. I hope not. Rumble's been very helpful. Yeah, it still won't let me submit any comments. It's so strange. What the hell is going on here? Yeah. I don't know if, yeah, nobody's showing up in the chat, so I mean, it might be that nobody can comment, but that makes no sense though. Just why? Why can nobody chat in my chat? That is so strange. And I don't know, I mean, yeah, I don't know if it can be fixed by restarting. I have no idea. Right, anyway, I did actually save a whole bunch of clips. I didn't really come into like really epic things, but just things that like kind of got my attention a bit. AI control grid is here. It was basically a segment from yesterday's show or the day before. Yeah, it's a very long video with Alex Jones. I'm not gonna play that whole thing here. Just gotta go to Alex Jones live. Yeah, and here is like this is like old Dutch craftsmanship in Indonesia, where they basically built waterways and, well, you know how we were with the water-related infrastructure, and it's just cool to bump into that sort of thing. So something that Dutch people built centuries ago. What the hell is going on? You're stalling. Why is it stalling? Okay, the stalling is from Discord, because it's not doing that in the browser. Why? Maybe there's some weird shit with Discord going on. Like, there might be. But I mean, it is working though. I was just in the Worldwide Debates room, and they're like still chatting. Dude, there was like this giant Jerry Springer episode there basically. All afternoon and evening and night. There were like 30 or 40 people in there, and it just seemed like a giant Jerry Springer show. It got kind of nuts. It was somewhat entertaining, but I mean, these people in there were just behaving like frickin' animals. It was just like conspiracy theorist hysteria. That's, yeah, saying conspiracy. Like people that are into conspiracy, when they get really riled up and like start accusing you of being part of a conspiracy, like that was like happening a lot. And they were just going insane with it and getting gross. It was ridiculous. There's this woman in there. I don't know who the hell that was, but she was basically like flipping out for an hour straight. Like, I never seen somebody hold on to that level of going nuts for that long. And Riggs just let her though. Riggs was just like, yeah, we're gonna have a Jerry Springer show here today, I guess. It was kind of funny. But I mean, it is a bit worrying. Every time I see that, like, the amount of people that actually then show up, it does remind me of like, oh my god, we are turning into idiocracy, aren't we? It's just people that have intelligence just for some reason don't get motivated anymore to actually do something intelligent. And they just fall back into like this basic type of impulse pursuit. That always kind of worries me. But I mean, I guess it is about where you're going to be looking. Of course, right. So yeah, I mean, OBS connection is just absolutely perfectly smooth. So it's definitely not OBS. So I'm guessing it's just Rumble being freaky. And potentially Discord. I think I'm gonna try to reset. There are 7 people watching. Only 1 downvote? What is this? Are the trolls even retreating now? Have I become untrollable? I mean, that almost worries me. No, but I would prefer that just more actual people that are interested would be participating, following me, and giving me some feedback, maybe hand me some ideas. I mean, if somebody could hand me some ideas or good sources, I'm still very much open for that. Right, because now I try to pluck good sources from other streamers that I follow, like for example Quantum of Conscious on YouTube. I really like following that guy. He pretty much always talks about the same damn thing every day, but it is very entertaining and it is kind of thought-provoking about how it's all fake basically, but like in a real esoteric way. And I mean, he's a funny guy to listen to. He has like a lot of jokes that are entertaining. Yeah, I could use some new tips on movies and all that. Oh yeah, this. Yeah, I'm not too sure afterward, but I mean, it looked pretty cool though. But like what this guy is saying, it doesn't necessarily have to be correct. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes people just like they bump into something, they have an idea and they roll it out without meticulously checking it and they make a claim. But I mean, overall it does sound reasonable, so it might be true. But yeah, let's go.
This video calls into question a lot of what geology courses teach today. It was filmed in Brazil. It just broke on Twitter. These guys crack open this, what looks like a rock, although it has a bit of a grain pattern to it, almost like wood. They crack it open. It's not obsidian. They already did an analysis on it. This is absolutely not obsidian. The going theory for this crazy looking thing is petrified tree sap from the ancient giant trees that were all around the earth before they got cut down by the 200 angels that God sent down to cut down before the freaking giants could climb them before the flood. If that lore doesn't get you, I'll tell you about it. Now, this is the exact kind of specimen that the Smithsonian Institute would swoop in to verify its authenticity before conveniently losing it. And if that went over your head, I'm telling you right now, many hundreds of geological findings, ancient giant bones, ancient giant skulls, ancient dragon bones, they say is a freaking T-Rex or whatever, and it's not. Smithsonian swoops in, I gotta check out if this is legit, man, don't worry about me. And then they lose the specimen. It's happened dozens and dozens of times. Look at the archives in the newspaper in New York City, all the freaking giant bones they dug up when they built that city. Now, before you say, I'm crazy, that's crazy, just know the same people who tell you a chemical that melts the road when it spills is good for your teeth and they add it to the water to make sure your teeth are strong are the same organized body that tell you that Devil's Tower, which is flat on top and has hexagonal structures all around it, is formed by magma and erosion. Look at this.
I mean, yes. I don't see though how like the dental association and the chemical industry that wants to put fluoride in the water for whatever reason, how that associates directly and is not completely compartmentalized from, well, historical gatekeeper organizations like the Smithsonian. So he just said, oh, from the same people. Is it though? Unless he's just basically finding a way to not say Jews, because then it'll probably turn out to be correct. I don't care, man. Like, I'm so over that. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be pissed off at anti-human people, at anti-human philosophy perpetrators, and I don't care what they call themselves. I mean, you can call yourself descendant of aliens, you can call yourself anything you like, a religious designation, some science fiction thing. It doesn't really matter. It matters what you do, and if that thing that you do is either destroy information, withhold it from people, create poison and poison the land or people, or like otherwise willfully try to disrupt developments that are actually good, impede human consciousness, like you're evil, you're a problem, I don't care what the hell you think you are. And I mean, yeah, Smithsonian is a problem. Medical society, mainstream medical society, Rockefeller Foundation, medical industry, it's a problem. Doesn't mean that they're the same people though, unless you just say like, oh well, they all have views, and then like, okay, fine, fair enough, whatever, like that simple. He didn't say it though, but I mean, yeah, anyway. Let me finish the video. It's not bumping, by the way, so the other video was bumping for some reason, this one is not.
And Devil's Tower is not the only one. This
tree stumps
is somewhere in South America as well.
I'm all for it.
Of course, because the wind blew it flatly. This is what you don't understand.
Remember when we were part
right in
of
front of your face? You just gotta have eyes to see it, man.
Flat Earth.
The eyes are useless if the mind is blind.
And they were saying, "Oh, this is
Shocking.
just
Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow.
a distraction away from the Earth being flattened, and like this is discredited." I kind of was like, maybe. But I mean, it's really interesting though. There seems to be something there. Yeah, that I've really turned around on that, and I'm now like, yes, absolutely yes. Giant trees everywhere, yes. Arguably the entire realm being one big cut off giant tree root from which sprang forth more, to us, gigantic trees. But I mean, compared to the original mega earth colossal tree, they're tiny offshoots. They were those gigantic trees that have all been cut down by now, and that left the plateaus are left. Yeah, because further back you go in the past, the bigger everything was. Humanoids bigger, plants bigger, everything bigger. Further back you go, the more gigantic it was, because we're all shrinking throughout time. It seems to be part of entropy. You can't really call it evolution, because that's a phantom concept. Science fiction doesn't happen. You lose design details, you lose functions, and that might include the ability to properly function being really big, because being really big is more difficult, right? For all kinds of physiological reasons. Like big animals, they struggle a little bit more than small animals. The smaller they are, the more flexible. I mean, they live shorter lives, but while they're alive, they're extremely capable, because it's easier being smaller. Physically, it's less strenuous on your system to be smaller, right? And yeah, if you lose functions, you lose pick abilities because of all kinds of reasons, because maybe the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere might be going down over time, maybe because the amount of free energy that goes about that we get to absorb becomes less. All these things can contribute to gradually lowering peak ability with the design we have, that might lead to just smaller offspring, gradually smaller, right? And then if you like really develop society and have like a lot of healthy food, and you might like erect Tesla towers, well then you could technically make it grow bigger again. And that's probably what happened during Tartarian society, because they had all this architecture everywhere that would tap into the energy field above, and the architecture would basically be like a passive Tesla coil feeding the entire location with mana, slightly. Maybe not as much as the pyramids did originally, but still enough that a lot of people that would naturally grow very tall would not be as burdened by growing tall, because they do. It's interesting because when I was still in middle school, I knew a guy, not in my class, who had like gigantism, and he was taking growth inhibitors, but I mean he was already insane tall. He was like this much higher than me, like really, and like he looked like, well, super tall, and he had a lot of physical problems, like, and you could see it on him, like he had like physical strain at a very young age already. Well, if there was all this energy in the air, he probably would feel way more, just less burdened by it, by his build. And so I think that Tartaria still managed to bring forth a lot of very tall people. Return of the Giants. But I mean, they were technically just half giants at best, if not just people with gigantism that were not really bothered by growing that tall because of the energy abundance in the air, right? But then, yeah, the whole revolution against Tartaria happened, and stuff was getting blown up. Copper roofs were getting removed, so all this energy abundance was kind of gradually going away. And then, yeah, people with gigantism would just get a problem, and the way to solve it was to give them growth inhibitors. And now it's just seen as like a bad thing, like a mutation, right? People with gigantism, like, they do tend to like see it like that, because they just experience it as a big burden physically. But it wouldn't have to be if you just start building a Tartarian society again, and then the tall people would like really get an advantage back for being that tall without the disadvantages physiologically. Right. So that's a big part of that. But yeah, in my view, the further back you go through the era, the bigger everybody was. It's very much comparable to like how I, for example, deal with my parsley plants. Right? When I buy that in the store, at first there's like these really tall shoots, and they're like, because it's had like optimal conditions for quite a while growing. But when I cut them out, like the new shoots that do still happen for quite a while, they never grow that tall again. But they then still grow quite tall. But then eventually, they just grow kind of tiny. That's where it's at right now with that plant. You can still get them, but it's just not the same volume. And that's kind of what happens with people as well over the ages. Used to be taller, but also broader, just larger scaled. We would now see those people as giants. That was us, right? And then it was not really livable anymore, so only the people that were like, to them, kind of shriveled up, for them they would not be burdened in the new state of the world. And so those smaller posture people would then kind of take over, because they just had all the freedom, while the larger versions, they were now all burdened, so they couldn't really crush it, they couldn't really uphold everything and keep it stay in control. Basically, they didn't manage anymore, and so then the smaller posture people eventually take over, replace the larger stature people. But yeah, with the same conditions slightly returning, like in Tartaria, bringing back energy fields naturally, yeah, they could then grow tall again. But because they're of smaller stature, that doesn't mean that they automatically also then scale up again and become larger stature people. They just grow taller instead. And that's what some of the Tartarian photos you see. They're not super broad, large, like actual giants. No, they're just really tall, but still like very much managing tall people. They don't look like they're of a larger posture. They're broader, have a bigger head. No, not at all. They're just much taller and managing fine. They don't look like they're super burdened in those photos. So that's how I see that, like the logic of it. But yeah, because in Tartarian society, it is like a bringing it back to the old stuff, reapplying the architectural principles and the energy that it brings, providing a better quality of environment, which, well, enables people to grow larger, taller, and then not be burdened by that so much, right? And I mean, that is also part of my original theory about the pyramids being hydroelectric field generators that would feed the giants. And I'm very proud of that. It's one of the hashtags in my list in the description box below. And I mean, I figured that one out a long time ago. It's one of the first non-flat earth related ideas that I brought to the table way back, like years back, 8 years back. Started talking about that because it was just really fascinating. And I mean, dude, it is an energy generator, and it's like much closer to like a Tesla coil energy field generator than than I've even realized, with like the scans of what's beneath there. And it really does seem like it's originally a giant Tesla coil. The pyramid at the top, because it's basically the top of a tower. So it seems, at least, right? Which makes much more sense, because that's how a Tesla coil would function. So, I mean, did Arwin call it or what? Not that anybody cares anymore. I don't even know if there's people out there that are like, yeah, man, Arwin's really calling these things very early. And like, he's not getting a lot of attention. And he's definitely not getting any credit from anybody, but man, Arwin does call these things like way ahead of time. Right? Kind of like what Owen Benjamin has with his thing. Owen Benjamin has that sort of thing a lot with with challenging society about double think things. Like he was very early with like criticizing trans kids in a time when that just came on the stage, and people like really got punished for speaking out against it, like really harshly. Yeah, so he was very early with societal criticism, which is also, I mean, it's in a way his duty, since he is a professional comedian. It's like, yeah, that is what a comedian actually should be doing. So he's actually doing what you're supposed to do. Well, I have that sort of thing with just universal cosmological and science fiction ideas. It's what I've always been trying to do, at least. And hydroelectric pyramids, one of them, with this whole concept. I've not heard it a lot from other people, that we started out really large and we're growing smaller over time, but also, I just laid it out, why? Not just a statement, oh, we were big, we got smaller, and then just like, oh, we're just gonna have to accept that it's that way. It's like, no, I'm actually giving you like backed by physical, logical reasons, like processes, how the processes changes, how that changes the manifestation, the form, and how that then continuates. and now you can have some of it back, but then you don't get back everything because the overall conditions are less, and they're not gonna like return. I mean, I don't see any reason now why there would be suddenly a super oxygen-rich environment. Why? Well, because the plants, there's just not enough super large plants anymore to be able to provide that level of oxygen. There used to be colossal forests, and I'm not even talking about the giant mega trees that are now plateaus. I'm talking about stage in between. There used to be like trees that were how tall would that be? Like 200-300 feet, and like super thick as this entire room. Like this entire room that big, and there would be like tons of them. Thousands, hundreds of thousands everywhere. They're very rare now, and so everything is smaller. When it's smaller, it has less surface. And so it's like downsizing lung capacity, which is also about surface. The surface of your lung determines how much interaction, how much gas you can exchange, right? Well, when the amount of plants got really downsized universally, that also then disabled cut down the cap of like how much oxygen there could be in the air because of that, because it's directly related logically, right? And that condition ain't coming back. You can only like sort of recreate it in like in a special pressurized chamber, which you just put a lot of oxygen chambers. And I mean, there's been people even like in the 20th century that have experimented with that, like growing fruits in there that would grow enormous, like double, triple size what they normally would, which really backs the overall downscaling model, right? More oxygen, everything tends to grow bigger, more energy fields, making it less burdensome to be big. So more longevity for largeness, basically. So yeah, those two factors scaling down and we become smaller. It all makes sense to me. Right, wow, 49 minutes in. Yeah, I think I'm just not gonna have a chat today, I guess, in the Rumble chat. Sorry. I'm guessing that other people also can't actually do it. It's weird. I'm wondering though, maybe I got my chat disabled or something. Let me check that. No. Okay, you can't even turn the chat off. Okay, whatever. Weird. Yeah, I hope it goes away. I mean, if that's gonna happen again tomorrow, then I will contact Rumble support, because yeah, I do actually want to be able to interact with people in the chat during the live show, especially now that my internet connection and the OBS connection is really good. It's kind of a shame. Oh yeah, really epic location. location here. In cave. I mean, that looks really miraculous. Right, so let's play this for a bit. Music's kind of gay. Don't mind that. There's just a little house there. Look at it. Okay, now it's not playing it. What the hell's going on, man? Discord? What are you doing in Discord? It makes no freaking sense. Yeah, here's somebody pointing out about Australia. Photos from Australia taken in 1800. And it makes no freaking sense. It's like... It's just like St. Petersburg. Like this big ass Tartarian city that's just completely abandoned. And then taken up. And that was there in Australia, which is supposedly discovered very late. Yeah, well, they discovered with entire neoclassicist built giant cities. Right? Oh, no, that's... Just don't think about that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so... Just look at this, man. Australia. What the fuck? A bunch of inmates built that shit. Right. Right, because it was supposedly like a prison colony. You think that those laborers in the prison colony just built that shit or something? Like, it makes no sense, man. One of my favorite channels. I always like to bump into these while scrolling on X. Hasidic Jews against Israel. Dude, there's a lot of them. Just look at this. Look at how many. And they're just doing their thing. But holy shit, that's a lot of Jews. Look at them go. Weird that they're just having a tiny little pyramid with the top on fire. Look at it go. That's a lot of jumping Jews. A lot. You say about them what you like, but these guys know how to party. Yeah, I mean, when they gather, dude, they gather. Holy shit. I got some opens up from people. I guess you're not able to comment either for some mysterious reason. Hey, comments are there. Okay, I got it. It was a browser issue, I think. Yeah, I can comment. Hello, Viscosity. Good to see you. Another Entos. And thought you knew me. Hey, is that... Oh. Okay. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, good. I don't have to restart my computer. Make no sense though that this is happening. It is weird. But I mean, it's all working and the connection is great, and I'm glad to see you guys. Hope you enjoyed what I presented. Tartarian photos indeed. It's a recent bug. If you unblock all, it seems to fit. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's not what I did. I did actually turn off the pop-up blocker though, that I had on, but I don't think I ever actually needed that, like a separate app to do that. I had that only like recently. I'd never actually needed that. I tried it to like deal with like Pirate Bay and all that, but it didn't work on that anyway, so I might just as well just turn it off. Right? But it's working again, so it's good to see you guys. Hope you've been enjoying the show. Yeah, and I'm not gonna unblock all the frickin' sock accounts. I'm quite content with having all that crap just blocked. But yeah, I hope you've been enjoying the show. I think it's time I should figure out a title. Right. Yeah, it's a bit long, but I put it in there. How the human species and all of nature downscaled over the ages and why. From the Age of Wonders to the Classical era, from the Tartarian age to the modern age. Yeah. It's pretty special too, like the Tartarian age, it really is its own peak phase. And when I originally made my chart of the ages and the dimensions, right, that I shared yesterday, that little link, like I didn't realize yet. I couldn't really fit it in there. but I can now, and it does make sense. But I mean, there is something just very nefarious about how it was basically removed, and it does feel like a curse. And that's also gonna like withhold people from actually accepting that that actually happened, because it just makes us feel like we're not on top. We screwed the things up, or our ancestors did. They removed it, and then it makes us seem better within the point of ignorance, but it isn't, because things were actually better and it's been downgraded. So what made giantism go away? No, not evolution. They just couldn't survive. I mean, you could theoretically call that evolution, but I mean, it's rather like they were just there and they were able to survive for a very long time and do incredible things, live extremely long, and then the conditions just went away. And then they didn't survive and they didn't last. And the smaller people that were not burdened by the lower energy, the lower oxygen setting, they could still thrive. They weren't better, they just were more capable of surviving. So I mean, in a way, you could, I guess it does fall in line with the basic thought of evolution. But it's like, it's not like natural and gradual over time even. Like the dramatic changes do all come from intervention, from people or whoever was in control changing the landscape dramatically. That's what caused it. So it's not like naturally occurring and the ones that were more suited could survive it. No, there's no natural thing that all of it went away. Larger people just stopped producing offspring. Well, I'm sure they tried, but they never really had that much offspring to begin with because they naturally lived much longer. So they wouldn't just like breed like mice or cats. Their procreation cycle would be much smaller, and they wouldn't procreate as quick. But then they basically got weakened and then hunted, and so they couldn't, their procreation could not hold up to how much they were getting killed off. Where before that wasn't really a problem. They didn't just stop reproducing, they weren't quick enough with it. They wouldn't normally breed like mice. It's not like the giant's way. Right? But I mean, there's still like qualities of the older format people, the more broadly built, large built, the wider people. There's still like traits of that, and yeah, when you put those traits on the people of the size that we are now, yeah, those people kind of look off a bit. It's just like they look a bit weird or whatever, right? It's just like, oh, that's kind of an ugly human. Yeah, well, that's because the proportions of what they have is not meant for a person of that size. It's actually meant for a much larger person, And that's why it looks so off. So we still have those qualities as part of us, sometimes, like inherited. But those qualities now kind of look off because it's not actually designed, you could say, for the smaller scale people that we have become. Yeah, they were hunted faster than they could reproduce. Yes. Right, but you gotta realize also that these larger scale humans, they were the humans. That was the normal. Like, us smaller humans are like mutants, in a way. And I mean, it's all like that. It's not like, oh, we were always this size. It's always been like this forever, going way back, and there were just also the really tall humans. No, it started with the really tall humans, and then mutants would also yield smaller people. That's like midgets, basically. Like midgetism also happened with the giants. And then eventually the midgets just got this advantage because the conditions in the world had dramatically changed. They were suddenly much more on top of things, and while the giants were weakening because they didn't have optimal conditions anymore, so they were faltering. And then the midgets just basically like, we have the power now, and started to like, well, conquer everything. But it's not like they were always there. It's just the midget became the new standard. Because it could survive the current conditions of the realm better. When did the last one die? I don't know. I mean, there might still be giants out there. They're just really keeping it to themselves. They stay in protected communities because they don't feel safe, and it's very tough being a giant in the conditions in this world the way it is now. So they would have to live a protected life, or they wouldn't make it. So there might still be giants out there, but they are going to be mostly isolated from society, and especially from things like the internet and all that. Although maybe, yeah, because then basically people go after them. You'll get more of these envious midgets that basically like, we hate you, you're larger than me, makes me feel stupid and small, and we want to be like, there's midget people that don't want to feel like they're smaller than everybody else. It really gets to their ego. Benjamin also talks a lot about this because he is large. You could argue that he is still partially of the old-sized person. So he is, in that sense, still a bit a remnant of the giants. And I mean, that comes with problems too, that he's open about. Like, being large is kind of difficult in this realm. So, and there's little people that get really envious at them, and they just want to tear them down and make their life impossible. So yeah, a lot of giants, they're wise enough to know that, and they're just like, okay, I'm going to not really let the world know that I'm here. Just gonna keep it to myself. And that way they get to live a full life without too much hassle. So they might not all be extinct. They just try to keep to themselves. And I mean, if there's any remnants of the much larger ones and the really broad ones, I mean, they're gonna have a very tough life in this realm, and potentially even basically become alienated to their own human nature, because like they're not getting enough nutrients and enough energy to survive, so they would fall into that, like in the line of the ravenous giants, right? Why would they be ravenous? Well, because they're always short on food and energy, so they just become violent and just barbaric and just want to keep eating everything, because their size cannot be maintained properly. And so there might be remnants of giants that are still out there, like the giant that they found supposedly in Afghanistan, right? The military soldiers bumped into really large. Well, that giant did seem kind of like a barbarian, because that is what you're going to turn out into if you're still that size, because the conditions just do not allow you to actually really just form into a clear thinking individual. It won't work. Unless they are, well, I don't know, in some protected area where there is like a functioning energy pyramid and Tesla coil like buildings everywhere and more oxygen, and then a larger scale giant human would function just like a normal human. They would do fine and be very large. But yeah, that would have to be created in a separate place that does not have the general conditions of the realm. Non-fiction book, Gulliver's Travel. Yeah, I mean, is that truly a non-fiction book? I mean, it might be, but it's just that the scale is a bit dramatic. Like the scales that I'm talking about, I'm not talking about tiny human and then just super large. Like tiny human, super large giant, which is like what in Gulliver's Travel it is like that. It's... ah, damn it. Tiny human, giant. That's the size scale difference in Gulliver's Travel. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about new sized human, giant human. It's basically 2 times as big, then 1 step back further, and it's like triple the size. Right? And those triple the size giants, they're already incapable of actually functioning like a normal human being, because the conditions are just not good enough for them to be able to maintain that level of function. Yeah, so the scales are different, and because of Gulliver's Travel, because of that extreme scale difference, it's more likely that it's symbolic than literal. Because I don't think that humans and giants have ever been really of that much of a size difference at any point. Except maybe when the Nephilim were there. They did seem to grow into, as according to the stories, according to the biblical stories, they did like turn into colossal monsters. They were way, way bigger. So they were way bigger than even the much larger standard humans back then, which are now giants to us, were. And that would have like this massive scale difference. But that's not with the previous human sizes. It's never been that much of a scale difference, in my view. You should make a book on it. I would buy it. Okay. I mean, it's an assembled work, but yes, I have actually thought, I have so much material now on my attempts to back engineer the past up until like the beginning, that I could potentially write a book about it, and maybe at some point I will. It's just that it's such a developing thing. It's still even now that I have so much to fill in, it's still in development. It could still like shift and stuff. It could still shift, my understanding. But I mean, I have a lot of pieces filled in by now, and it makes a lot of sense to me. So maybe at some point I will make a book about it. But it's still under development. The ideas of it. Like, I could make a book now, but then, yeah, in just a couple of years probably I'll already be like, this is the old version. It's kind of outdated. Now I have to make a new version with the newer updates. And I kind of like don't want to do that. I kind of like just want to wait until the ideas are pretty much as complete as they get, and that anything that I might still be missing out on is just so small it doesn't break the whole picture, right? Don't have to rearrange everything. I want enough information assembled so that whatever picture I create out of it will suffice to give the true big picture of what all happened. But I'm getting there. It's getting closer. But yeah, I appreciate the sentiment that you buy my book for that. If I made it, that thank you. I appreciate that. But it's still a work in progress. Right? But I mean, yeah, if you want the single page that I figured out years ago, I will just share that. Why? Bro. No. Why? Dude. Screw you. Why are you acting up so much? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I need to update that link because it's a mess. It's like, oh, wait, what? Okay. That's weird. Right, anyway, yeah, I posted yesterday, but I'm doing it again, so it's a one page, but this is like, yeah, back then when I came up with this and I figured this out, I was thinking like I could make a book out of that, but it's so much missing still in this pic. There's still like a lot that's incomplete. Basically the whole realization of Tartaria is not in there at all. Whoa. What was that? Okay, some really large plane flying over very low. Couldn't see it though. Right. But yeah, anybody that's been following me around for 10 years, they could really take a look at this Reddit page that I wrote years ago. And then cross-reference it with like everything that I've talked about, and of which there are hashtags now, because I've really developed the hashtags a lot over the years. It's been like the library of the subjects that I tackle, and it's been expanded dramatically. And yeah, just compare what's in that one page to like how far I've come and all the new things that I've figured out. Like this is all pre-technium, this is all pre-UFO intervention devices, this is all pre-Tartaria, all of it. I didn't really know anything about that sort of thing back then. So yeah, that one page could easily be turned into 3 pages by now. I might actually do that. Actually, to be fair, I maybe I should just try to continue my writing on it. That would actually be a good exercise of creativity. So yeah, I might do that. I don't know when I'll actually get to it, but I'm now gonna keep that in mind, that I should probably update that page and then maybe put it out again. What more info do you need to get the full picture? Yeah, well, that's the whole point. You seem to have it all figured out. Yeah, well, that's what I thought years ago too, and turns out that there was a whole lot I was missing. If I knew what I was missing, then I could fill it in. The whole point is that I don't know what's missing yet. So yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah. Right, anyway, I've been going for an hour 24 minutes already. I hope everybody's appreciating the show. I mean, I've been enjoying it. I still have just a tiny bit of a headache, but it's like 2/3 of it's basically gone, so I do feel better. The coffee did help. Really looking forward to getting lunch. I did not eat lunch until very, very late yesterday. I barely ate anything during the entire day because I was still sort of sick, sort of. So I think, yeah, I'm still recovering from being sick, from being poisoned by rotten food that I should, yeah, I know better now. Brussels sprouts, when they start rotting, throw it all away. Don't even try to salvage anything from that to eat. I know that now. I mean, with some things you can do that. It's oh, some fungus grows on it, and then you just throw the fungus part away. But I mean, when Brussels sprouts start rotting, you gotta throw it all out. I know now. Right. And probably all types of cabbage. I think that is all cabbage. When cabbage goes rotten, you just need to throw all of it away. Just the way that it spreads, it goes through all of it before it really actually starts to rot. So it's just once that process starts going, it's already spread to all of it. Isn't it 4 p.m.? What? 4 p.m. dinner time? No. Not to me. No, to me that's lunchtime. Dinner time for me is between 8 and 10 p.m. That's my dinner time. 4 p.m. is lunchtime, which is, by the way, also my breakfast, because I don't really eat before the show. Unless I had a long morning, but even then I usually don't eat. I'm just not a breakfast guy. Just usually eating doesn't sit all that well, unless like my rhythm's really adapted and I go to bed much earlier and get up much earlier, then I could eat breakfast. But it's always just something where I'm just feeling like I don't really want to eat. Then I feel objection against it, while in my lunchtime, that's when I really feel like, yes, now I want to eat. So I'm just not much of a breakfast guy. Anyway, appreciate the interaction in the chat today. Very glad that there is a chat. I don't know what the hell went wrong earlier, but it's all restored to normal. Very glad of that. And Rumble is not bumping at all. It is perfectly smooth. So in the internet, of course, my landline is fixed for a while now, and it's just going perfect. Alright, so hope everybody's been appreciating the show. It's going to hopefully be a little bit of a longer show. I am going to take a 2-minute break now. Brunch, got it. Okay. You skip breakfast as well. Okay. Cool. Anyway, I'm going to take a 2-minute break, and then I'll be right back after, and hopefully we can continue the conversation. Don't forget to Rogan's Up the show if you're liking it. See you soon. Cloud cover out there right now. It's really intense. It might go raining, and it is cooling down right now with these clouds. It could go raining. Maybe we're gonna get that freaking thunderstorm. Dude, I bet my headache would absolutely go away if there would be a thunderstorm. I really need the damn thunderstorm. Just do it! Just start booming. Do it. Or better, wait until I'm done getting my groceries and then go. So, not right now. Right. Talking about which, I could really use some support, you all know. But I mean, I do, though. I had a bit of support recently, which is incredibly helpful. From Blue Pilled Evolution, my friend. Really appreciate it. I was really hoping that there might be another person out there that would also still support me. Some of my other supporters that have supported me throughout the years, I Wonder what they're doing. But I hope they're still interested in my shows and still are following, and I also hope that they'll still consider supporting me. I can very much use it. I don't like, it's not even like I'm paying, like their money literally goes in a black hole. It isn't. Like, my situation is such that I can just accept PayPal donations, and I technically don't have to pay it back, as long as it's under a certain amount in the month, and it very much is under that amount. A little bit too much under that amount, so I could definitely take more donations here, and I could really use it. So yeah, please support your local Arwin through the PayPal, would be great. I mean, if you want to try the gift card, it's a bit of a hassle, so I understand that it's not like typically the first option that anybody would like to support me, and go for the PayPal first. But especially if you want to like get a bit closer and help me out more regularly, then trying out the gift card would be interesting. I've had it as an option now for months, for almost half a year, and still nobody has actually tried it. Right. So yeah, please support your local Arwin, that would be great. You don't have to throw a giant chunk of money towards me. A little bit helps too. Just don't do the freaking 1 cent thing. That's just a troll annoying. You probably won't though, because then you still have to like pay like a fee on top of that. That's, of course, it isn't worth it. Right, but any support you guys could help me out with would be very much appreciated. So please support your local Arwin. Let's take a look on the news. I'm almost regretting it, but I mean, I've talked about like really interesting things, I think, last hour and a half, so I can just take a quick glance as to like what is going on out there. Yeah, also on the Alex Jones show yesterday, some former military colonel came on and basically is exposing things that I've known from face-to-face situations, and that is that the CIA is very much tied in with the military, but they are like a controlled opposition organization, like with crime. It's like their philosophy is, if there is crime, then we have to be in control of that crime, and then we can use that to create an opponent whenever necessary and make the right moves to be politically convenient. And that's how they do their things. Plus the whole blackmail ring, like Epstein class type shit. Right, but all of that is criminal, and that's what the CIA typically does. They're not just gathering information, they run crime and stay in control of it. So they really are, in a lot of ways, a fundamental controlled opposition agency. So if there's like some guy that's like, I'm gonna be a crime lord in this specific thing, in a new thing, and then he's like, on top of shit, well, it's very likely the CIA is gonna get in your face, try to sneak in your ranks, and then take over, because that's what the CIA does. Not to like disintegrate it, but to just be in control of it, so that it becomes a covert political entity that they can use. And I mean, this is basically what Al-Qaeda is, and ISIS. That's what they did. It was there, it had its own thing, it was rebelling, It was criminal, arguably. At least in the face of nations, terrorists and all that. And then they just took control over it. And then they use it. They use it for their own political maneuvers and shit. Like, it's what they do. Like, it's what Israel did. And what America did. Like, they're both kind of involved with CIA. They both use the CIA and Mossad, and it's, I mean, the lines between, they both basically do the same type of things. And yeah, controlled opposition agency was really talked about yesterday, and I mean, I know about that. I always like to talk about that sort of thing when it comes up. So I thought it was worth a mention right now. I'm not gonna add it to the title, even though I could. I'm not doing it. Full UFO alien disclosure has been ordered by Trump, according to Kash Patel. Yeah, and there's people out there saying like, oh my god, once they do that, it's going to nullify religion. Like, anybody's gonna freaking buy that. That the aliens are gonna come and say like, yeah, you know what? We created that religion from the other dimension. It's not actually real, it's us all along. And like, anybody's gonna buy that when the religion that we know clearly warns of, well, fallen angels that would do that, would do exactly that. So, oh, you're gonna roll it out now, and then people are gonna buy into it, even though we've been warned about that for millennia. It's pretty stupid to think that that could work. That people just say like, oh my god, it's gonna overthrow religions. Like, really? Are you that fucking retarded? Or you just bought into the Antichrist nonsense very early, basically. And so, like, oh, you want it to go down. You want the religion to go away, don't you? Because you already fell for that trick. Now, with religion, I don't mean like organized religion. I mean just the faith in the stories, the chronology of the history. That thing that I also try to build. Because, I mean, it is God. My cosmology is based on God. It starts with God. God that literally manifests the physical realm and its design in its completion. It is like an absolute beginning point. Cannot be disconnected from it, and whatever might get in here and claim to be the designer is going to be just technically wrong. Because the designer ain't coming here. It may connect up, but it's like, the designer is out there not being physical, not being time bound, to be able to manifest the physical realm. It has to be out there to manifest it. He can't go away from being out there in the other dimension to physically incarnate into his creation. He can't be in his creation and maintain the entire creation at the same time. That doesn't make any damn sense. Right? So, yeah, I mean, if aliens are gonna come and say, oh, we're just interfacing from the other dimension, and it's like, yeah, that's literally what the angels do. We know you're fallen angels. We know you are those types of entities on the other side that we interact with God, which is the angels. and that you've chosen to come into physical form here, that comes with penalties, and that eventually leads to black magic and sacrifice shit and all that, to perform those types of miracles that you can't naturally perform because you don't have the backing of God anymore. Yeah, you're not gonna fool us. You're not gonna fool me. Telling me, oh, that God is all not real and it's all made up and we were actually the ones. Alright. Sure you are. Okay. Oh, let me guess, you're from another planet, right? Oh, okay, yeah, like that's gonna work. Cool. That's really cool. Could you show us this journey you did from the other planet to our planet? Oh, you don't have a continuous video shot, just like NASA doesn't have any of that? Oh, what a surprise. I'm sure you're being perfectly honest and truthful about the nature of reality to us. Yes. Huh? Well, yeah, no, I'm not gonna fall for that shit. Anybody that will is, I'm very sorry for you. I mean, seriously. Yeah, the aliens are not God. If they're gonna pay a visit. They might have the ability to interface with the systems of God, like angels, because that is what they are. They are fallen angels. They are still angels. They've just physically incarnated, restricting them. Because they're no longer under direct control of God. And don't have God's infinite energy available to them. As the angels that did not go down and physically manifest still do. That are still under his control. Yeah. This is all very, very obvious to me. You can't fool us. Can't fool me. I mean, there might be people out there that are like, oh please, we're so sick of these stories of the Bible. Could you please tell us something new? Like, oh yeah, those people are certainly gonna fall for it. But I mean, those people are they just want new stories. They don't really want to understand what is actually real, because then you get confronted with the downsides, the dark sides of reality that they don't really want to know, and they just want to keep escaping it. Which, yeah, if you don't handle the truth, if you don't want to handle the truth, you're eventually going to end up buying anything new, as long as it's different. Those are the people that could fall for it. But not me. Anyway. Let's see. What else? Yeah, there's all this nonsense going around about the freaking hantavirus, like that's literally real in any way. It isn't. Viruses don't exist, and the hantavirus is simply a condition that you get, that you can contract, and it's all through pollution. Pollution, being exposed to polluted conditions, and then you get sick, and that's identified as a hantavirus, and that can spread. Like, toxic circumstances can make a person sick in a specific way and then spread around to others that are also in those toxic circumstances. So the symptoms spread, but the cause is the toxic circumstances, not a thing, an entity that gets in you and then multiplies and then everybody jumps to the other person. That's not how it works at all. There's conditions, apparently they happened on some freaking cruise ship, and now they're gonna roll out a whole bunch of nonsense stories about how it's supposedly spreading. It isn't. It's not gonna spread. It's gonna be completely phantom. I mean, on the ship it's real. That's the real sickness is because of the conditions on that ship. Not because some entity, a micro entity that's technically not even scientifically proven to exist, somehow got dangerous and then started spread around after getting off the cruise ship. Yeah, it's not real. But they might try this whole story, and I think people are not gonna buy it. Because it is out. It is very much out that the whole coronavirus, that all of the measures, everything that was done in response to it, whatever, even if you think it was real, then the entire response was all nonsense, all fake, all useless, all counterproductive. And everybody knows this. Even the people that still believe in viruses, because they didn't want to dig further. So even if it's real to them, they still know it's fake. It's just, no, it's real, but none of that thing that surrounds it, presupposing it's real, was actually real. All of that was fake. Yeah, that's, even if it's real, it's fake. It really applies here with this. And so, yeah, hantavirus, it's all gonna be nonsense, and it's gonna be a total dud. They're not gonna be able to succeed in locking down everything over that shit. So don't worry about that. But it is something that's playing out right now. Oh god. Yeah, Forum for Democracy, despite getting a majority in the county of Nijmegen, remember my friend in Nijmegen? It's a really liberal city, but they're basically being blocked. Even though they literally have a majority, they could literally take control now. They're being kept out illegally. So there's basically a liberal coup happening there in their county government. It's really psychotic and criminal. This is like fraud. Plain, clear-cut fraud. Forum for Democracy has won the majority there, and they're being illegally kept out. Like, the people still in control there, which are not Forum for Democracy, are literally committing fraud and doing illegal stuff, effectively similar to a coup. Just like, no, we know this is what people voted, but we're staying in control, and we're going to keep the ones that people voted for out of this government. Illegally. Yeah? That's illegal. That's fraud. It's crime. Yeah, the people there in the government of Nijmegen should be arrested and given a very long jail sentence for what they're doing right now. Because they're criminals. They're Marxist criminals that are breaking the law. So let's go. I mean, people should probably just form their own arrest teams, because these politicians, they have the entire police department in their back pocket. And that's the problem. That's the real problem that they have. It's also the reason why so many people voted for Forum for Democracy, because they know that Forum for Democracy is the only one that could actually unravel that police corruption shit. That game that's happening out there. Right. In the meantime, our Secret Service here in the Netherlands, the AIVD, they're all so scared of anti-institutional extremists, like people who bring up the Epstein files and that point out that there's literally Dutch judges and politicians that are literally mentioned elaborately in the Epstein files. Oh, and the Secret Service is so worried about the institutional extremists who are pointing out blatant, gruesome crimes of people right now in the government, that are now right now in function. And people pointing that out, of blatant, horrendous crimes by people currently in government, well, those people are anti-institutional extremists. according to the Secret Service system here in the Netherlands. Just goes to show like how freaking corrupt the Secret Service here is, and that they should be purged by any means necessary. I mean, that could literally mean kill, as far as I'm concerned. Like, purge. They should be completely, all the people, just take them out, defund, investigate, isolate, arrest, arguably, for, well, acting criminally. Yeah. Covering up for other criminals. Right? And then either stay shut or have a new agency built up again that actually just don't conspire with criminals. Yeah, if we want, there could be a function for Secret Service, but I mean, not if they're literally going to cover up for blatant criminals. Yeah, that's not a type of Secret Service that I want to be part of a government here. Thank you very much. So yeah, AIVD. They need to go. They need to be purged. Reform. Pro-Russian disinformation. They're also worried about that. Apparently, about people that actually say like, yeah, you know what, the Russians are actually doing quite well. There's been this giant narrative playing out for at least 20 years on how the Russians are ultimately evil and everything they do is wrong, and it's all made up crap. And like, the Russians are very open, are very on record as to what the things that have really happened, that have been confirmed and testified by other parties, so what they've been really doing. And if you just say that the nonsense made up Western anti-Russian narrative, if that's just misinformation, well then that's pro-Russian disinformation, according to the AIVD, again. Misinformation agency, Marxist infected, faulty Secret Service here in the Netherlands. Should be purged. Right. Wow, been going for almost 2 hours. Incredible. But yeah, I'm getting really hungry, so I'm gonna round it out and then get some lunch. Or brunch, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, hope you appreciated me sharing a little bit about the news. I mean, there's still a lot of shit going on out here. It is tedious. I just don't want to like start out my shows with like news crap, unless there's like a really big event that's like something I really want to dig into, but that usually doesn't happen. That like with the whole, when the Iran situation started to happen, right, with Trump, yeah, but I mean, everyone in the freaking world was talking about it back then. It's very hard to not start off talking about that. But when there's not a really in-your-face event happening geopolitically, I like to just start out talking about, well, the past, you know, and Tartaria and alternative history and spiritual matters, esoteric matters. That's how I like to start my shows now. Rumble seems to have a lot of misinformation on it. I don't know what that means exactly. But I mean, Rumble takes anything. Like, you can roll out whatever narrative you like pretty much on Rumble, as long as you're not being too overtly anti-Semitic, too aggressive in that sense. Although maybe they even kind of toned that down. Maybe they now even allow that. I'm not sure. But yeah, Rumble is extremely low on censorship, so because of that, there's also bound to be misinformation on it as well. So yeah. Right? But I mean, in general, there is a lot of misinformation out there. And for a lot of people, it's very tough to not get involved with it, to not be carried off by the current of a piece of misinformation that's really being pushed in everybody's face and given algorithmic priority, etc. People get caught up with that, and so then they perpetuate the misinformation because it makes them get more clicks, etc. Right? It's like narrative mercenaries. That also happens a lot now. So yeah, I mean, the amount of misinformation out there that is like provably misinformation is really growing a lot. But I mean, if you actually really care, you can still figure out that it's misinformation. In the end, all the misinformation is for the people that just want a certain thought or an idea or a narrative and that do not want to look further into it as to what is really real. That's the target group for misinformation, is the people that don't actually care, that don't really want to know what is absolutely real. They just want a story that they like, and then they'll just perpetuate that story. That's who the misinformation is actually directed towards people that don't really care what is real, that just want a story that they want to hear. Right? And yeah, I am not one of those people. Right? Even if there's like videos that I play that I like, that are about Tartaria or whatever, if there's things that they say that like are wrong in my view, I will just say it. It's just like, I like this whole thing except that part because that's just wrong. And then like, I don't care. Like, I'm still gonna play the video. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you can't possibly expect anything out there at this point to be perfect, because just because of the sheer volume of information that's now out there on the internet. It's very hard to not contract some kind of error in whatever you're going to put together. Alright, anyhow, I'm going to smoke this for a bit, and then I'm going to round out show. Hope you all appreciate it. And again, I could really use the support. I will need it. It's just now it's not that mega urgent yet, but it will. It will become really urgent in the next week if I don't get some extra support from somebody out there. So please support your local art and please help me out. PayPal link is in the description box below. Even if you just send me like $5 or $10, it would be incredibly helpful. Right? You don't have to throw a giant amount of money to make a difference. Just a little bit could help too. And I will remember who helped me. Right? If you send me money, in a way you are proving that you are serious. That you're not like secretly trolling or anything. So there is a literal advantage from supporting me that you can get out of it. Other than from having me thrive and delivering better quality shows. Right. Yeah. Man, it's been a while since I had a show over 2 hours. It's been a good one. I hope you all enjoyed it. Because I'm gonna round it out now. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are all in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel and support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. So yeah, please help me out, guys. It would be great. Help me thrive. Right. I will be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2626. 2626 on a Friday. Hope to see you all again then. I hope I will still have a smooth Rumble connection, because I mean it's like half, a third to half do actually get like weird bumps, but today was perfectly smooth. Just Rumble chat was being a bit weird. But it's all turned out to be a pretty good show. I'm very happy with it. Hope you all enjoyed it. Anyway, everybody have a great rest of this Thursday. And until the next video, keep it flat.